In today's episode, Jen asks, we're a business that likes to share and reshare evergreen content across multiple accounts for our executives. Social networks are now saying that we can't publish duplicate posts either on the same account or on other accounts. Is there a legitimate way around this? That's a great question because the intent of what social networks are doing with the prohibition against duplicate content is to cut down on two types of bots: spam bots that are just going to publish garbage at scale, and troll bots, which were used to create artificial perceptions of popularity for things like election tampering. And so, a corporation trying to provide some level of automation for its account and for its key executives, it was not the intended target of these rules. The intended target was to prohibit and reduce people from behaving badly on the network. So, there are four things you should be doing to solve this problem while obeying the rules and still allowing you to use evergreen content. So the first thing is, when you're putting together social posts, you need to have software that will encode unique data in each update. That can be something as simple as having the date of the that you're putting the post in, so that there's a unique string in each one. It can be something as simple as engagement. Like, I use the Bitly API in my updates to show how many clicks that an article has gotten, because every time you go back and publish an article again, presumably, hopefully, it's gotten more clicks than the last time you published it. You can use page views in Google Analytics if it's content that you own, so you can show how many views has this article received, year to date or whatever. Whatever it is, it just has to be a piece of dynamic data that goes in the update that shows that changes all the time. So that's number one. All of these techniques, you should do all of them together if possible. Number two, increase the amount of curation that you do on the account of unique content, so that you're sharing unique content much more frequently. One of the things that these algorithms are looking for is how much repetition is there, how much obvious, that's going to really easily trigger an algorithm if you just keep posting. I've seen some corporations posting like the same 5 updates over and over again. Of course that's going to trigger an algorithm. If a human can spot the automation, then for sure an algorithm can spot the automation. So be sharing lots of valuable, relevant, timely, targeted, curated content that is unique to each account. So, for example, if your CFO is on an account, you may want to have that account be sharing blogs about corporate finance. If your CMO has a separate account, you want to have that blog be that account sharing blogs about marketing, so that they're sharing things that are relevant to their domain of expertise. And then when you're sharing your corporate content, it's in the mix. It's not just there's not just one post shared across 20 accounts, and that's the only post that those accounts do that day. So lots of extra unique curation. The third thing is you want to use a dynamic URL shortener that encodes a different URL each time your software runs to put together your social media updates. Again, I use Bitly because every time you send a URL to the Bitly API, it spits back a new unique URL. So again, we're encoding that social post to be even more unique every single time you go to put it together. And the fourth, and by far the most important thing, is you need to have a real human working on the account to handle engagement, to handle outreach, to handle the things that a real human being would actually do on their personal social media account. Replying to people, liking things, posting the occasional photo of wherever it is that they are. Taking a picture of their plate of food every once in a while. Those are the things that real people do. And again, remember that all of these spam detection algorithms, any kind of algorithm is looking for patterns and indicators that fit a certain profile. If you have an account that just robotically publishes stuff and nothing else, there's never a behavior change, that's pretty easy to detect that's a machine run account. If you have the natural randomness that comes with human beings, that will show those algorithms, no, this is a real person that runs this account. And yes, they're sharing stuff to follow industry best practices, but is very clearly still a human. Like, hey, here's a picture of the dog. Social media automation was never intended to be the only thing that an accountant does. And if your social media strategy is such that you are only sharing automated stuff and nothing else, then you probably are going to get flagged by an algorithm at some point. And also, is what you're doing actually all that valuable? So remember that social media automation is supposed to be the framework, right? It's the stuff that is the bare minimum that an account does, and then you layer that human aspect on top of it, so that instead of, maybe you have a busy day or you have some travel or something like that, and you can't be posting as regularly, that's when the automation fills in those gaps to keep your account active and to keep providing value to the people who follow you. You still have to provide that extra human value on top. So, engagement is the fourth component, and the first three are things that your automation software may or may not do. I know that for my stuff, I had to write my own software to put together a lot of the content because there wasn't anything that was doing it. But that was a couple years ago, and now obviously the space is continuing to evolve and grow and stuff. So again, unique data in each update, unique URL in each update, unique content that's been curated at a much greater volume, and most importantly, have those human signals on the account to keep the account looking like a human's actually running it. That is the way to continue to be able to reuse evergreen content, not have someone babysitting every single account all the time, and still obey the rules and still stay within the guidelines that the various social networks have put out about duplicate social media content. As always, if you have comments or questions about this sort of thing, please leave them below. Otherwise, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.